Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin. Today, it's a little kind of rainy and nasty out, so we're gonna play in the barn instead. I have the perfect project waiting in the weeds just for a day like today. So when I say waiting in the weeds, I really mean waiting in the weeds, because there it is, right behind me, in the weeds. So let's grab it. Let's get inside and take a look at it. So this is what it is. Pressure washer. So my uncle actually bought this back when I was working for him. It's probably like 16, 17 years ago. And he bought it to wash off all the equipment and stuff. So then at some point it stopped pumping water. He let it sit or whatever happened, but it stopped working. So he asked my dad if he wanted it. My dad said sure. My dad took it. He was able to get the engine running, but couldn't get water to come through the pump or anything like that. And that was at least 4 years ago. And ever since then, it's been sitting outside next to his shed. So I picked it up a couple months ago, and now it's been sitting outside in my yard by my barn. Today we're going to see if we can't get it working. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just check the oil in this thing, make sure it's got oil, make sure there's no water or anything in it. That'll be just right here. And the oil looks really good. It looks to be about full. That looks like it's in good shape. It actually looks really clean too. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this thing actually turns over still. So I got the switch off. Just going to pull on the handle. And yep, it turns over. So I know the engine's free, so that's good. So I'm just going to check the tank, see if there's any old gas in it, because I definitely want to get that drained out. Because after sitting for so long, it's probably not any good anymore. Tank is bone dry, so that's good. Hopefully that means the carburetor is dry and it's not all gummed up. So now I'm just going to open the air cleaner here. There we go. Just check the filter. Make sure there's nothing in the intake. That looks really clean and good. So I think I'm just gonna throw a little gas in it and turn it on and see if it goes. So I'm not gonna put a ton of gas in this thing, just in case I have to do some carb work or whatever. Carburetor is gummed up. I don't want to have a ton of gas in the tank that I have to deal with. And the goal is just to get it started, not to have it running for any length of time. Alright, that should be good. Moment of truth here. Switch on, choke out, let's see what she does. No, she's a runner. That was pretty easy. Alright, well now we got to figure out if this thing will have water go through it. I don't want to run it too long in case the pump is good. I don't want to burn it out. So we'll take it outside, we'll hook it up to a hose and see if we can get water through the pump. Most pressure washers I've ever seen, that once you turn the hose on and you would release the handle on the sprayer, the water will still go through even if it's not running. So I just am leaving the handle off. I'm going to hook the hose up, turn the water on, and see if I can get water out of here. So we will just hook the hose up here, and I will go turn the water on. You guys watch, let me know if it works or not. Well, they know I can get water through the pump. I think I'm going to start it just like this for two reasons. One, because I'm just kind of curious on what it's going to do. And two, to see if the pump will actually boost pressure. So with this running, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start it, and let's see what it does. I was going to just take the gun off the hose and test just the hose, but then I got to looking at it and it's got this tip in it. And this tip is looking pretty clogged. So I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can't get this tip out and try the gun that way and see if it's just the tip that's clogged. If it is, that'd be awesome. It actually came out pretty good. Alright, let's hook this up and see if it'll work. We got water coming out of it. So that leads me to believe the reason it wasn't getting water out is because the tip was plugged. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up. Well, it appears to be working, although the engine's not running very well. I don't know if it's something that's just run its way out, or if I'll have to mess with the settings in the car, pull the screws and get it cleaned out real good. I'm guessing that's probably what's going to end up having to happen, adjustments. But it is spraying water. I'm going to put one of these other tips in and see if that'll work. That tip's got water coming out of it. So I'm going to try starting it up again and see what we get for pressure. So I kind of played with it for a little while here, just kind of ran it. I think the problem is there's just air in the hose coming from the house. I have probably like 125 feet of hose to get down to the barn and buy the chickens and stuff. So when I drain it, it gets a lot of air in it. Now that I think I got all the air out, it seems to be running really smooth and I'm getting a lot of good pressure. I'm really happy with that. It took me almost nothing to get this thing going and working, and I'm excited about that and ecstatic. A little disappointed because I was kind of hoping to, tear into something, fix something a little bit, but it seems to be working really well the way it is. So now that I got this thing running and spraying water, there's a couple things I want to take care of. The first thing is I want to try to get this cover taken off, fire up my air compressor, and get this thing blown out real good. I can see a bunch of stuff packed in the cooling fins on the engine. And as I was running it, I could start to smell it getting hot, and we don't want any issues with that. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get this thing cleaned up a little bit. So last thing I want to try to do is again try to get this nozzle to spray. I'm going to try a little air pressure. And that's all coming back at me. She's plugged up tight. So I think I'm going to try to find a wire or something, see if I can't jam that through. Alright, so I got a real small wire here. Don't know if it's going to be strong enough, but we're going to try to see if we can't get that through. I don't know if you can see it, but I got it through. So what I did that helped too is I have this kind of bent up a little bit, so I can kind of stick it in because the wire's smaller than the hole, and I can kind of twist it around in there and push it in and out as I twist. And the little bends will help break everything around the sidewalls off. Definitely getting air through. So we got the red tip in, and let's pull the trigger. We got water. All right, let's turn this thing on, see what we got. The tip works. Pretty excited about that. Well, hopefully you guys found this video interesting. I know it wasn't much of tearing at anything, opening it up, fixing anything. It all just kind of worked, which surprised me. I thought for sure the pump had an issue or whatever and we'd be tearing into that. I'm glad I didn't have to, but like I said before, I'm a little disappointed. Thought it'd be fun to tinker on something, work on something. But now I got a pressure washer on the farm, so I'm excited about that. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. We're working with stuff all the time, fixing things, working with the tractor, taking care of the animals, building gardens, whole bunch of different stuff that we're always constantly working on improving and doing. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.